Welcome back, fellow adventurers, to Jasper's Game Week. I am very excited to kick off this game. My name is Ben Barsh. I'm going to be the host guide and dungeon master here for the next roughly hour and 41 minutes. I think I got that correctly on the dot. Good start. My name is Ben Barsh. I am a co-owner, writer, game designer for Pacesetter Games, as well as a Harry Potter TikToker is the term that we're using nowadays for it. So I have the pleasure and honor to be the dungeon master of this game. Thank you everyone for coming out to watch. There's an amazing cast of players today, so I'm very excited to be able to roll some dice and raise some money for a very, very good cause, which is obviously Jasper's Game Day. So let's just go ahead and start some introductions. Looks like Matt, you're up on the screen first. So why don't you kick us off and introduce your player for the next 2 hours?
I'm a player. I'm a Mistopheles, Tiefling, fancy Tiefling. EO, since it's Star Wars Day, everybody's favorite social distancing robot, Dio. No, thank you. So yeah, I like to use my mage hand and stay way far back behind everybody and the things that are going on and observe.
Right on, right on. Looks like next we have Lana.
Hi, my name's Lana, and I will be playing Roshani, who is a gnome monk, a little fire-headed, gets into trouble all the time type of person.
Brilliant. Can't wait for that one. Ben.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ben Heisler. I am a author and currently streaming. I'm playing Aroha, who is a human battle medic, I would say. A little bit of grave cleric, a little bit of fighter. So here to fix everyone's boo-boos and pull them out of the fire.
Brilliant, brilliant. And finally, we have Rogden.
Hi, my name is Ron Ogden. Today I'll be playing Archie Arkham, a crossbow arcane specialist.
Very excited for this cast. We have a pretty good diversity here, so let's just go ahead and get it rolling since, we have about an hour and 40 minutes to roll some dice and, like I said, hopefully raise some money. If you guys would like to donate, it's an amazing cause. If you cannot donate, which we totally understand, you can possibly share the link on social media. That's a very helpful thing for us as well, get more people into the show. So you all begin your adventure at a very small and quaint town of Traveler's Respite. Now, it is named Traveler's Respite for quite obvious reasons. It is a resting place or a waypoint for many adventurers who are going out and pursuing a life of grandeur, glory, and possibly, in some cases, wealth. And you have arrived to Traveler's Respite because it is also very much a location that is in need of adventurers. There are many old temples that are in ruin with strange monsters hiding within, caves that need to be explored with strange murmurings of necromancers raising, bodies from the dead. So you arrive to Traveler's Respite and look of the aforementioned scenarios of glory, wealth, and of course helping out the common folk that we all hold as in first esteem. So as you arrive into the town, many of you have at least heard of Traveler's Respite in your travels. Whether or not you have been here before is on your own character's prerogative. But as soon as you enter into the town, there is a very elegant looking half-elf standing outside of the gates with the guards. There's two guards. They each have a pretty large polearm with they're in chainmail. They have a tabard on that bears the crest of, it looks like a pretty simple helmet. And this half-elf is sort of just waving at you as you start to approach the town.
Archie, walking up, says, I'm in search of wealth, money, and glory, and you look like a man who can give me all three.
It is very nice to meet you, Archie. Of course, we have all of those things. You mentioned one of them twice, ironically. So I see that
I like
you're
that one the most.
Exactly, a man of true grit. I would like to welcome you to the town of Traveler's Respite. It seems as if you folk have had a high adventure in your day. If that is your current goal, I don't know if you speak for your whole company, but I would love to have a word with you of a recent trouble that has overcome the town.
It's also low adventure and also some middle adventure, but along with some high adventure. So yes, that sounds good.
Brilliant. Well, this might be a mix of all of them. I'm quite certain.
Do you have pastries?
I do have pastries. If you
Then
would
I'm
like,
in.
we could meet at the inn, and I could have some pastries freshly made up for you as well.
Yes.
Fresh pastries.
I speak for myself, but I'm sure my friends here love pastries as well.
You
Yes,
know,
please.
we all
Thank
love
you.
pastries.
Yes.
So he motions you to walk into the town with him. The guards just kind of tip their caps to you as you enter, and he brings you into a pretty humble inn called the Silvery Tay Inn. And you go sit down. He sits you down at a circular table. There's just the four of you. Goes over to the innkeep, requests the pastries, and comes back to sit down. And he begins to speak with you again, and he says, "Well, whatever any other goal that you may have had to come to Traveler's Respite, other than the wealth and the money and all of that, we have had a bit of a problem with one of our farmers recently. This is a relatively quiet town, as you know or may know, that there's many adventurers that come in and out. It's very uneventful sometimes because the evils that may plague this land know that we are well defended, and it is strange for them to make such a direct attack. One of our farmers, the Carrington family, they have owned some land and fields just to the north of the town. They keep making me aware that their fields and their cattle have been ravaged by what they say is a winged beast that flies in the night. I'm not sure exactly what this winged beast that they speak of is, but all I know is that it is distinctly making an impact on our town. So if you may have the time or wit to help us with this, then we would more than be happy to reward you for such efforts.
It's one winged beast and one farm, correct?
Yes, there is. They have their farm. They own a decent amount of land. It's just pretty often the family takes care of the farm, and then they all have sort of recounted these events of a winged beast in the night, stealing cattle, ravaging crops. Even one of their outhouses is completely destroyed.
That is just unacceptable.
I thought that would get you the most.
That is very disconcerting.
Sanitation is very important.
Yes, very.
Very much so. So, and as you are saying this, the pastries are just now laid in front of you, and there's a huge decadence between there's like chocolate to vanilla to this strange strawberry pastry that you have quite seen before, but it seems very nice. And
Archie hesitates, waits to make sure everybody else takes one before he does.
I was going to say, should we get these pastries to go so we can make it to the farm before it gets dark?
Oh, they're not going to last before I hit the door behind us.
Oh boy.
And he takes two of them and just shoves them in his mouth. Where to go in your?
As soon as you do that, the half elf just looks up at the waiter who brought it down and just gives him a look, and he sprints to the back, seeming to go grab some more.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would like, I could point you in the right direction, or even go with you out to the farm if you have any interest in investigating this manor. If you don't, I'm sure there's plenty of other work in town.
I'm sure the boys would love to. It's been super dull lately, and this would be a great little mini adventure, plus pastries.
Yes.
But you said that the creature comes at night?
That's when it has it doesn't exactly come every night. I'm not sure if it's on a schedule or it just comes at when it's impulse to.
Has a quota every other day.
Exactly. Yes, we don't know exactly, if there's a schedule or not.
Perhaps we can examine some of the carcasses of the cattle and perhaps determine there what winged beast we may be shooting at soon.
Yes, I mean that definitely would be a way of going about this that would be efficient. So it is up to you if you would like to go now or if you would like to wait for the second round of pastries, or I can have those brought out to the farm later.
I believe we all know what my vote would be.
You are never one to ration the pastries. About how far out is the farm?
The farm is just about 30 minutes walk down the road. So not far.
Okay, then we probably have time to wait for the pastries, and then we make sure that everyone is not hungry, because we know how we all get when we get hungry, and it's not pretty.
Especially EO.
Hey, now.
Well, I just get real angry when you get hungry.
I get very hangry.
See? We'll go angry.
Low blood sugar. Lots of walking.
Bad news.
We need to get you out more. 30 minutes is not a lot of walking, especially when you're so
much
tall.
walking. So much walking. Yeah, let's carbo load and then go do
this. Perfectly getting ready. So yeah, the pastries come out. However you would like to divvy them up is up to apparently Rogden, I guess, but or Archie. So the half elf starts to bring you out of the inn and down the road, out of the city that you ironically just arrived in. It looks like we have earned a reroll. So if you guys ever, I think it'll work both ways, right? I mean, I think you guys can roll and possibly even make me re-roll a good roll. I don't know if it works like that, but we'll run with it until I.
Good from whose perspective?
I was gonna say it's your table.
We'll just go. It's fine.
Your table,
however you guys want to use it, you can use it. I won't use it against you guys because
I appreciate
that's not as fun. So
otherwise, I want to make a perception check and look around. I usually reroll just.
Oh, sad panda.
So you're traveling down the road. You just kind of like see out of the corner of your eye with that perception check that Archie's grabbed a couple pastries for the road and he's just throwing them in his mouth as he goes down. And Roshan, he just gives him this look at, what are you doing?
It's the usual look. He knows what it means.
The usual look. So after about 30 minutes, you arrive at this farm, and it is quite humble. It is not a very grand land where it's obviously feeding the entire town, but it's certainly a large source of their food that you can tell, or at least for trade to other towns. And as soon as you walk up, you can sort of see the devastation that they were speaking of. Even like the plot of land that is just close to you, there's very large stalks of corn, and half of it is just like mauled and destroyed. Not too far from it is the outhouse that was spoken of, and it looks like someone took a very large hammer and just smacked it, and it's basically just cut in half. And as soon as you walk up, you avert your eyes back to the road. You see a human man, a human female, and then a child just sort of like standing at the road, waiting for you to arrive. You're 50 feet away or so. You're just sort of getting up to them.
Archie beelines to them and says, "Excuse me, did you destroy this outhouse?"
No, that's actually my outhouse. I wouldn't ever dream of doing that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
It's okay. We have more than one. We've been managing.
You have more than one outhouse?
Thankfully, yes. Yep.
That's brilliant.
Yep. We've had one for our family, and then one for whoever comes to work the fields. So we've all been sharing one, but it'll do.
Your story of proper hygiene has won me over to your cause. How can I help you?
Well, I'm sure that that Gadget has told you a little bit of the emotions over to the half elf.
Oh, the man with the pastries. Yes.
Yes, pastry man. Great pastry, silvery Tayen, I believe.
Yes. Yes. They're
Brilliant,
delicious.
And so basically, what has happened is at random nights that we see this winged terror in the night come down, either slaughter and eat the cattle right at our farm or drag cattle away to I don't know wherever it's coming from, um, ravaging the fields. Just complete terror, and we just need help. This is bigger than us. You know, we are a simple farming family. We don't know how to defend against anything like this.
Has it gone for the cattle first and then for the other things, or like did it go for the outhouse and then the corn? It just seems very strange that a beast would want to cause destruction in such a wide variety. If it was hungry, then going for the cattle makes sense. But the rest is rather strange. You haven't earned any curses or pissed off any wizards or other influential people that are very how do you say, eccentric?
I don't believe so, but I I must admit my family is of high wealth, and I wanted to leave that life for a much simpler life with my wife here. And I don't think so, though. That was many years ago. I would be very surprised if it were a revenge or of some sort.
And sorry, just to clarify, this guy is human?
Human. Yep. Human, and his wife is human as well, and then the kid is human as well.
Ben, is there he was referring to cattle. Are there any carcasses that are visible nearby?
Yeah. So once once he's doing this, you're kind of like looking around as you're taking in the information because you've already heard it from Gadrit. Right. So you scan around, and sort of like to your right, you see this what looks like sort of was an animal pen, but the little fences that were put up are pretty mangled. You know, at least you can see claw marks. Some of it is like pried away completely, and inside you do sort of see like a more of a fresh slaughter, rather than anything that has been around for a while. And there's no other living animals inside. They've moved them to other pens around the farm. So not too far, about 100 feet away, maybe.
Perhaps we could go look at the carcasses and survey the damage. The outhouse looks pretty beat up, almost like a hammer was taken to it.
And cut in half, yes, correct.
Cut in half with a hammer, which is incredible.
What was that, you?
First the outhouse, then carcasses. I really don't like where this adventure's headed.
I agree with you.
It does seem like a quite a poopy problem we've got here.
Aye.
All right,
yes.
So
it's a bit rotten, if you would.
You start to work your way over to the pen. I guess it's 100 feet away, so it's not far at all. And yeah, it pretty much looks like that the beast visited the night before, and they explained to you that they didn't want to move any of the bodies, so that way if adventurers did turn up, they wanted to have like the fresh investigation, basically, without the scene of the crime be tampered with at all. So you look into the pen, and a couple of the parts where the fence should be stout and in place so they don't wander off in the night is like completely gone. Like looks like something ripped it out of the ground. And then those little parts of the fence are like 10 feet away. You look inside and you see that it takes you a second to really understand what they are, but you can see that it's almost probably 2 dead cows and a pig, and then like outside of the pen, about 15 feet out, is a horse that has been mangled as well. It looks like that most of it was eaten at the time of the visit, but there's certainly enough there to be identified.
Does it all did they mention how many times that this creature has visited?
It has visited. They did not, but they mentioned that they answer your question now, and they say, including this last night, 4 times total. And they again, they don't know if it was like on a schedule or if it was sporadic and random.
How many cows and horses do you have left?
Well, we still have about 15 cows, more than enough pigs, and about 4 horses just in a stable far away. That is, we are not far away as in, the other side of the farm, basically. We wanted to keep the rest of the animals a bit away from the devastation.
If we're here to help with that, could you put all of them together maybe tonight?
Yeah, sure. So bring all the animals into one, or a central location.
A bait and switch situation. I like where your brain's at, EO.
Then we stand far away and wait for it.
You're smart, friend.
Well, I guess we could do that.
Yes, is it okay if we use your property as bait?
That's the part that I'm a little uncertain about. I still have to think
I mean,
about
we could
that
just
one.
let it continue if you'd like.
Yeah,
No. What if we made like a paper mache cow, something that looked like a cow but wasn't gonna be expensive to replace?
I'm gonna relate this to pastries, and if I saw a paper pastry, I probably wouldn't eat it.
Hey, but what if it was a really good-looking paper pastry?
If it was very convincing, I wouldn't be able to tell. That's very true.
We don't know how whatever we're dealing with is. It went after an outhouse. It can't be that smart.
Do you have any already rendered cows?
I don't know, but
that would be better. Do you have? Is there any meat we could use instead?
We do have some. Yes.
We could prop up one of those carcasses with like some sawhorses to make it look like it's a cow still. Maybe like cover it with a tarp. Cover up the bad parts.
We could certainly sort of, we have, I don't know about this idea. You're the professionals, but we do have scarecrows out in the fields. We could make like a cow crow, a scare cow.
Scare cow. I believe scare cow is the correct term.
Scare cow.
I'm a little concerned that if we did make one, it might not have the right scent, and if this is a beast, then its smeller might be very keen. What if I just buy a couple cows off of you and we can set them out, and that way you don't have the risk, and we can take care of this problem, and then I can sell you the cows back or something, or whatever.
You, Ahura.
You are very noble. Aroha was your name?
Yes. Sorry, I should have introduced all of us. I'm Aroha. This is you, and so on and so forth.
Well, it is, nice to officially meet you. I honestly would feel bad taking any of your hard-earned gold, since you are helping us. How about we do our best to hide most of them, and then we'll take a couple cows and put them in this pen and hope for the best.
If you have any sickly or near death, might be the best to use.
And he kind of just like motions to his kid, and like gives him a little nod, and the kid just like is like staring at all 4 of you, just in amazement of these adventurers who are visiting his little farm. And his dad just like then gives him a nudge after the head nod, and he's like, "Oh, I got it." And he just runs off back to the rest of the cattle to probably corral them over to where you guys are now.
Careful, that might be an adventure in the making.
You have to start somewhere.
Yes.
I don't know how much longer I can contain his adventurous spirit, and I'm sure all of you being here will ignite that even more. But I was a adventurer back in my day, so I appreciate you all, what you do and all that. I understand, the code.
So you have the skills and the abilities to handle this problem, but you would like us to help you.
Exactly.
Yes, I understand. It's the adventuring way.
It is. Once you retire and have enough gold, you can.
Right. You pay the other adventurers. It's like giving back.
Exactly. I'm investing in you, if you will.
Yes. I understand. We appreciate your investment.
All right. So, I just from the role play so far, it sounds like the plan that you guys are working on right now is to have the little corral of a couple cows, try to bait it in, and then take care of it that way.
Or at least see what it is. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Very cool.
Observe from a distance, then decide.
Brilliant. Okay.
Archie gets it.
Oh, go ahead.
Archie gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, all I got's arrows, so yeah.
You're all about the distance.
That's right.
At some point, could I ask do we find out the young man's name, the cow getter?
You did not actually, as his dad didn't even mention it. But if you, I can give it to you.
What's your son's name, sir?
That is little Cadigan.
Cadigan.
Cadigan Carrington?
Cadigan Carrington, yes. Yeah.
Noble name.
Indeed.
Alliteration does well as an adventurer.
It generally does, especially in this god style of writing.
Cadigan Carrington.
Okay, so is there anything that you guys would like to help set up? They do eventually, they'll remove the carcasses. They have a couple field hands that will remove the carcasses and go bury them so they're not in the way at all, unless you guys want to have those around. If you do, totally cool. They bring in they'll bring in 3 cows to the pen that was destroyed just a little bit, but you can easily take the posts and just put them back in the ground and use the bottom of your swords to bat them back into the ground. Is there anything you guys would like to do for setup other than that?
I would love to talk to Cadigan if I can get him on the aside for a second away from his dad. I don't want to get him in trouble.
Is there like a barn or anything, or is it just a field and fences?
Yeah, there's one large barn where most of the utility and tools are held, and then there's 2 smaller ones that look like they're primarily stables as opposed to like a full utility barn. Yeah,
I'll go hang out in the loft of the big one and just try and keep an eye on things.
Cool, perfect. Yeah, there's
try to set up like a ghillie situation.
Window, so. Okay,
where I can be low, covered from the above, like maybe foliage of some sort, so then I can stand up and fire when they're within range.
Cool, sure. How far from the pen do you want to be in the ghillie kind of thing?
Let's put it at, what's my range on these things? Let's put it at 120 feet.
Okay, perfect. And then EO, you'll be about 200 feet ish, and you have a small little window that you can see out of. It's it's about a 4 foot tall and 3 foot wide window, so you can easily see what's going on down there. Anything from Roha or Roshi? Other than we'll get to Kaden in a second after the.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm going to check out the damage to have an idea of kind of what we're doing with, other than something super strong. Trying to get an idea of how big it is. Obviously, it's got big, sharp, pointy teeth. But in addition to that, does it have claws? Does it look like it has like a spike on the tail or something like that? And so I'm hoping that, I guess that'll be an investigation roll, unless you want to be kind and let me roll something that I'd be actually good at. But here goes nothing.
What would a Roha be good at? I
would be better at perception, but as I was describing what I was doing, I realized I was totally investigating.
It's okay.
You can perceive it. It's fine. We'll pretend you're perceiving the investigation through.
Oh my God, you're so kind. Such a kind and generous DM.
Great DM.
Just luring you in.
I have I rolled well, so I have a 16 plus my 5 for perception, so I have a 21.
Brilliant. So you are just perceiving the entire scene. You're almost playing it back in your head as if you had like a little time turner and you just turned back time. And so you're getting the idea that you are dealing with somewhat of a serious threat, as you were able to deduce so far. This thing obviously has pretty sharp teeth and claws and might and power to be able to do whatever it's done so far. So through all of this investigating, or perceiving rather, you're looking around, you're finding relatively large footprints in the ground, scratch marks on the posts, and it doesn't quite look like something you might have seen so far, more so have read about. And as you look a little further, sort of like wedged into the little pen in some mud, you find this. You see the sunlight is still coming down, and it sort of like is reflecting off of this small little, seems like a red scale that's lodged into the ground. And you pick it up, and it's about it's about this big, not enormous, but enough to fit in the palm of your hand and look at it.
Okay. So the other thing Aroha wants to do is try to get like a hay roll or a hay bale closer than 120 feet, because while I do have a couple cantrips, I am not a range specialist. So my plan will be to get over there and then have someone, watch me and be like, your foot's still sticking out. And then eventually I will get somewhere a decent stealth check.
Oh, Roha, this is a good idea. You want a graduated protection. It's smart. I'll help you.
Perfect.
Thanks,
and as you do that,
buddy.
The matriarch of the family, the woman, she's helping you roll this hay bale out, and it's sort of positioned like, imagine that there's the pen, and then to the south of the pen is where your hay bale is, and then not too far over is your ghillie suit friend. And she kind of gives you the eye test, and she's like, a little to the left, down. Good.
Lower. What about lower?
Lower. And she does mention that that her husband so foolishly forgot to mention that the winged beast, whatever this is flying in from the north. So you guys are positioned to the south, so that way, if you can see it coming, you will see it coming. And it most likely won't be able to see you behind the bale of hay. The barn itself, you're probably not going to be seen in the barn at all. The barn is like, from where the pen is, northeast, and obviously you're in heavy cover. So the window's on the other side of it coming in anyway, so it won't see you around the corner or anything. And then Roshi was looking for Cadigan, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can just, wait for him, and then he brings the, those 3 cows over and puts them in the pen. And you can see him just like kind of like, he's like trying to like get them in and herd it in properly, but he just like keeps looking at you guys, setting up the scene of battle and everything. And he sees you standing over it at the pit, and he's a little taller than you as a gnome, correct?
Yeah, everyone is usually taller.
He's a little taller. He looks like he's about maybe 4'10".
Okay.
Just sort of like adventuring into boyhood, basically. And he just keeps looking at you as he's like herding the cattle in, trying to make it like not obvious that he's staring.
I will walk up and help him because I'm very good with cows. They adore me. And I just want to say, like, so what do you think about this little adventure happening on your farm?
Are you going to tell my parents?
No.
I've never been more excited.
I know, it is pretty thrilling. I mean, the dead cows, not a fan.
No, of course. Yes. There's not a lot of kids in the town. Not a great place to raise a family with adventurers coming in and out is something I think. I don't have a lot of friends, so I become friends with the livestock, and it's sad to see them leave, but I'm so excited to have you guys here.
Excellent. Well, have you seen anything that maybe your parents haven't mentioned to us yet? I know you want to be an adventurer someday, so I'm sure you've been like training on like hiding out and looking for things. Is there anything you noticed?
I don't know.
I promise I will
I've
not
only
tell
read
anybody.
Books. I've only read books, and I get them from this. Well, they call him the village crazy dude back in town. And
yeah, most villages have one of those.
And he's always telling stories of his adventuring days, and now he has this little library. A lot of the books are written by himself, so not a lot of people trust it very much. but he also does some sketchings, and think I've figured out what it is from his sketchings, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't want to give you false information if you.
What is your? We'll call it. It's like an experiment. We'll have a hypothesis, and then when it comes tonight, we'll see if we're right or wrong. What do you think it is?
Okay. I think it's. I don't know if dragons have babies, but I think it's one of those.
Oh, like it looks really young, sort of like a dragon version of you.
Yeah. I'm stronger.
Well, obviously, but I mean, because it's a very tiny. I mean, baby dragons are very tiny.
Roha just peeks his head out from the hay bale. Come on.
And so I'm like helping getting the cows all settled and stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for letting us know. Now, I know you're a super brave adventurer, and so one of the things we're gonna make sure is that you have a really special job tonight to help us out. Okay, because we don't want to accidentally hurt you thinking that you're like something else. So we're going to make sure that you have a place to be and we have a place to be. And we're all going to be super safe as we figure out what is going on. Sound okay?
I have the honor to be your obedient servant.
Excellent.
And he just let me know when you have the job.
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
And he just kind of scurries off. Yeah.
And I come, we'll probably have a little like powwow with these guys.
Cool.
So I was talking to Cadigan. He has a sneaking suspicion it might be he called it like a baby dragon. So I don't know if that means like baby or if it means like wyvern. I don't know, but it was really interesting.
Does it
take
arrows?
Do not want.
I don't know. Are babies more squishy? Oh, what did you find?
I did find this rather impressive red scale. I don't know if it's wormling sized or wyvern sized or somebody's.
With my knowledge of Arcana, what is that scale he's holding?
How proficient are you in Arcana?
I am proficient in Arcana.
Cool. Just go ahead and give me a roll.
All right. I'm using it on here. 16.
16. All right. That is plenty in your experience of not only adventuring in a mighty way, but reading up as well. That this does seem to be a scale of a dragon wormling, and then by the coloration you can figure out it's red.
Right. Yes, I believe Cadigan is correct. That is a red wormling.
Good to know. Also,
Well, that makes sense. Eats cows.
Yeah, but what did it have against the outhouse?
What? Hey, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Did we see any evidence of burning? I don't recall that in your description.
No burning.
Okay.
Didn't have to fight the cows. It probably just came in and chomp, multi-attack away.
Yeah, but I mean, if I could breathe fire, I would have a nice char grilled steak.
I see it roll. No, fair.
My biggest concern is the hatred for the outhouse. That is my.
There's definitely something up with that. Also, we're going to have to think of something for Cadigan to be useful. Otherwise, he's going to be all up here in this business, and we do not want that. So, some sort of...
That's
no.
No, let's not
no.
do that.
Listen, opposite of bait. What's the opposite of that you can think of?
He can be my helper or intern.
In the barn, I like that. The barn seems relatively safe.
Yeah, or he could.
We could keep him next to the medic.
I like his attitude. Yeah, I'll give him a potion and then run out.
Excellent. I like this. Maybe not run out. Maybe
Yeah, let's with the
not running.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think this will work. I just want to make sure that he's safe because someday he'll grow up and be a great adventurer, but today is probably not his day.
I promise no human shield. I'll be fine in the barn. I have a barn shield. He'll be behind me.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Io.
All right.
Is there anywhere to hide in the pen?
Not really. I mean, there's a little trough that the animals would drink out of, but I mean, you are small if you wanted to.
Is there like a food pen, like a food trough?
Yeah, yep,
I'm gonna be in there.
inside of it. Okay, cool. I was gonna say you're small enough to, to climb into one of those probably. So, all right. Any final preparations before you stake out for the night?
I can't think of any.
Okay.
I try to dissuade this wannabe adventurer kid from being an adventurer every night. I feel like you really don't want to get into this life. It's disgusting. It's gross. Like, when they say dungeons, it ends up being sewers a lot of the time. Like I kind of regret it. I've regretted it for like since level 2.
It's been a while then, for sure. All right, so you set up in your places. We have EO in the barn looking through the window. Then we have Archie, who is full ghillie suit mode, sort of like in the field a little bit. Aroha is hiding behind the bale of hay, right?
Yep.
And then Roshi is inside of the food, basically.
Yep. I
Okay.
am taking a nap in a very warm, cow-smelling trough.
All right, perfect. So
You really do like cows.
I do. I'm proficient in animal handling, dang it.
perfect. Well, then you would have been very helpful with the scare cow that unfortunately never came to be. So you wait for a couple hours. You get in places once the sun is pretty much down. They're pretty confident that it doesn't come during the daytime at all, because it will probably be seen flying over and in by everyone in the town. So they give you a nice little dinner. No cow for dinner because they're running a little short. There's a shortage a little bit. Of course, pastries are brought in from town for you to have for dinner, and you get into places, and you begin to wait. And about 30 minutes goes by. You don't quite see anything. An hour, 2 hours.
Archie falls asleep.
Okay, Archie's asleep. And
Full
then
of
after,
pastries.
Full of nice warm pastry belly. After about 3.5 hours, you can. Does anyone have dark vision? I know.
No.
Definitely you would. EO does. Okay. So you
Womp womp.
wouldn't really, right? You wouldn't quite be able to see anything in the food trough, but EO, and you hear it, as this monstrous beast, you hear the wings creating these strange air currents that are not normal around the farm. EO, you see a very clear vision of a smaller, looks like a wormling. It is indeed a red dragon wormling, just sort of swoop in, and it lands sort of like in the middle of a field at first. And Aroha and Archie, you definitely see sort of like a figure in the night, but obviously you can't quite make out what it is, but you can use your own imagination from what you've collected.
I'm messaging, because everybody is probably out of range of my awakened mind.
What's the range on awakened mind?
120 feet.
Yeah, just barely.
And then I will awaken mime, the kid behind me. He don't get the message.
Okay.
Not wasting cantrip on him. He gets a feature.
All right, cool. Yeah, you're just a little out of the range. The closest person would probably be Roshi, and you would just have to get another like 50 feet over to her. So this beast lands like in the middle of the field, and then it sort of like comes right out of the thicket, just sort of staring dead at this animal pen that you guys have rebuilt and made to be sort of like a bait. And at this point, EO, you can definitely like see it as your back is up against the window and you're like peering outside. It starts to approach the pen. at this point, Aroha and Archie can see it start approaching the pen. And primarily you see these almost crazed red eyes. That is sort of like a crimson scarlet red. And every once in a while you see them flicker as if the light is extinguished for a mere millisecond as it reignites when the eyes open again. And it's approaching the pen, and then it sort of kicks off the ground and goes to, pounce, or for lack of a better term, on one of the cows.
When it kicks up to actually attack, Archie stands up from his ghillie suit draws an arrow, pulls it back, and says, "It's time to cast and eat pastries, and I'm all out of pastries." And let's go an arrow.
All right, perfect. So go the arrow.
And
with the words of valor behind it.
Yes, with words of valor behind it. He is going to activate an arcane shot. And this one will be a bursting arrow.
Perfect.
So
switch over to battle mode, DM.
The attack is a 22.
22 definitely hits. Awesome.
Is it within the 150 range?
Yes.
Assuming. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So then it's going to be 1d8 plus 2d6. Anything within 10 feet of it also takes the damage.
Hey,
Roshi,
no.
We'll say she's 11 feet away.
Is it in the pen right now?
It's not quite. It's just
Okay.
it's in like mid lurch. If all the actions are happening simultaneously, it's beginning.
And it's 14 damage.
14 damage.
Wow, nice.
Sorry, that's 18 damage. I forgot to add my dexterity.
Even better. Perfect. All right. So as you're all just sort of like waiting. You see this beast approach. It begins to attack, and you see this arrow fly out of seemingly darkness, and it strikes the dragon right in its belly as it's beginning its descent, and it lets out a screeching roar that is just maybe a couple years out from being the most terrifying sound that you've ever heard in your adventuring existence.
Nice.
And Cadigan just like looks up at EO and he's like, "It's about to go down." All right, I'll have everyone go ahead and roll initiative now.
Cool.
It's going down now, and it's not.
EO makes unenthused tiefling noises.
I think we need a little bit of more clear than that, Matt. I think you have to.
But
Alrighty, so 20 or higher.
23.
oh wow. Wow,
23 and 21.
everybody.
Wow.
All right, cool, good. I was worried there for a second.
It's okay. You'll go before I do, Matt.
But no, that's what I was worried about. 21.
You got a 21, EO?
Yeah.
Wait, did everyone get over 20 except for Oroha?
Oh yeah, no, it's cool. We're all cool here.
You want the magic user healer to go last. You always want
Roja's
them
a
to go last.
smart one.
No,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the opportune moment and waiting and waiting and waiting with my initiative of 0.
Oh,
Initiative 0.
Wow.
that's impressive. I want that. That's warlock stuff.
I found my nat 1, and then my dex mod says, "Hey, wait a little bit longer."
Hey, it wasn't negative.
You have
It is hard to
disadvantage
be
for the whole
negative.
battle. All right,
Especially
awesome.
on dex checks in this edition, thankfully.
We can go old school and do like spells and ranged missiles first, and then go to movement, and then go to melee for anyone who played like old school editions.
Let's do it
Oh
old school.
man, that would be a trip down memory road.
Good old like first edition initiative order. Okay, so after you fire this brilliant and well placed shot, Archie,
Oh, wow.
go first.
Archie loads another arrow from his quiver onto his longbow, says a little arcane verbal under his breath and fires his last arcane shot for the day. It will be a shadow arrow.
Perfect.
And the attack will be 19.
19 hits.
All right. And then it's going to be wisdom saving throw. DC 9.
Oh, DC 9, you say? Well,
Yes.
that is a bit of a challenge today.
Yeah, a little bit hard.
I
huh?
rolled a 5. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. So,
Yep, so it definitely fails.
cannot see beyond 5 feet until the start of its next turn.
Ooh.
And it takes 10. It takes 4 piercing and 6 shadow.
Okay.
Psychic, excuse me.
Psychic,
6 psychic. I apologize.
We can make shadow damage. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
we'll make it a damage type. Why not?
Why not? It's canon.
And then
boom.
He will move 30 feet towards the thing, drop the longbow in the field, pull an action surge, and pull from his rust bag of tricks. He will pull a furry creature and throw it on the ground.
All
that
right.
furry creature is a giant goat.
Giant goat.
Yes.
Brilliant. All right. So
yeah.
A lot happens in this little 12-second time period that you see Archie just go full like Legolas mode.
We said go.
Arrows. You did say go.
Yep.
And 2 arrows ring true on the dragon, and then you see this giant goat appear. For a
2
second,
arrows
you're
and a
like,
goat.
oh, it's a farm. It's a goat. And then you're like, you've never seen a goat here before. As this goat just magically appears.
Big goat.
Big goat. Yeah.
Are you
What
trying
waiting
to
for?
eat it?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to do here?
Well, I'm going to use my
Don't have a
bonus
cow,
action to
have a
actually have it
giant
go
goat.
attack the dragon. So.
All right. And it is as well blinded, correct?
The dragon is it can see 5 feet in front of it, but no further than that.
Only 5 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Roshi, you are up.
I would like to jump out of the trough and get right up in the dragon. Can I approach it not head on if it can't see me?
Yeah, you're a little out of its little sight range. So yeah, you can like move around the side if you want. And
Yes,
sort of,
I will
like,
come in
use
at
your
broadside.
space. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
and then
Yeah,
I'm
do
going to
that.
use my quarterstaff on it and try to hit it a lot.
Okay.
18.
That hits for sure.
So that's only 4 points, 5 points of damage. 5, I can math. And then I will use a key point to do a flurry of blows and hit him 2 more times.
Nice, perfect.
12 to hit.
12 misses.
Oh, and even less than 12. So sad. So
And less than 12
sad.
misses. Okay,
That's
so that was
fine.
movement, flurry of blows. Anything else? Probably.
No, nope, that's it. So
Alright.
you get with monks.
Unfortunately, but once Roshi hits the high levels, ooh, it's game over for everything.
I know.
All right, Io, you're up.
So I see that it's blinded. Think about riding that giant goat, but then decide against it because goats smell. And then look at the kid go, look at this, hopefully. Ooh, all right. So that is a 23. Yeah, 23 plus 5. Is that it?
Yep.
All right.
What are you hitting with?
And then that's 9 damage.
What are you using for attack?
Oh,
Just curious.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. Perfect.
But of course, yes.
But of course. Why would I think anything else? You said 9, correct?
9. Yep. Agonizing. I didn't push him back. He was agonizing on that one.
Right on. All right, perfect. So now the ferocity of this wormling really comes alive as it lets out another one of these harsh screeches and just turns in the direction of Roshi, who's standing up in front of it so boldly, doing some punches and kicks. Roshi, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
That's a 13.
13. You save anyway.
Oh, wow.
Nice job. And
Way to be dodgy.
Exactly. You see this cone of
Oh,
fire
no.
spew out of its fiery maw as it rolls ironically very well. However, you're nimble enough to dodge out of the way.
Catch and beef. Catch and beef.
Nice.
You dodge out of the way, and you only take 18 fire damage.
Only.
Only.
You have to have some fun words
Woo.
like that.
Start
You
putting
got-
myself out a little bit.
Yeah,
A
and you're
little bit
putting
of
yourself
padding.
out. The fencing that is like behind you also catches flame, and it's like a little fiery wall at this point. And the cattle like get a little scorched a little bit, but he missed the cattle. Ironically, it only hit you in the fence.
Huh.
So I just want to remind us real quick that we do have we still have that reroll. So if you guys ever want to use it in the combat,
And
Excellent.
we're 158 bucks away from giving one of your pillows away too.
Yep.
So
Oh.
if people want to,
Yep.
I'm thinking of donating 50 for another reroll here.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Sweet. Thank you, Matt.
Well done,
Woo.
well done.
Thank you, Matt.
And
So
I'm gonna get
that's
another seat at Critical Bards game.
nice. So we're that much closer to another of the D20 saving throw pillows. Do you want to hold one up real quick?
Oh yeah.
Not to break
they're-
immersion
they're
too much, but
perfect. So
if we
yeah, now
can-
we'll be like 100 away.
So now
super
they
close.
look like
Oh,
this.
lovely.
Sorry. And they all
Beautiful.
have pockets for you to store your dice in.
That's fine.
Nice.
Pockets.
Nice.
That's awesome. As many gamers know that we have too much dice or too many
Such
dice,
thing. Use
too
just
many
your mouth.
die. I don't know. But what I'm saying here
Oh,
is you can
background.
buy more and store it in the pillow. So
Yes.
you
And the
can do
reroll
two
is
amazing
mine.
things at
Oh,
once.
I donated. Reroll's mine. That's the rules. I don't know if that's actually how
Them's
the
the
rules
rules.
go.
Them's
That
the
how that
rules.
Jake might
rules?
have a different opinion, but I'm kidding.
I don't make the rules, but those are the rules.
Them's the
I like
rules.
it.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Matt, for that. And all right, so hopping back into the world, looks like we have Oroha up. So the fence is pretty fiery, as from what you can see. This huge cone of fire just flew out, and it is your turn.
I'm glad I waited for that to happen rather than being up there where there was going to be fire everywhere. So Aroha gets up, and at this point, how far away is Archie, Ogden?
Archie, from you is.
I moved only 30 closer towards the dragon myself, and the
got it.
goat moved 80 towards the dragon.
So the hypotenuse.
So you're still 90 away, is what I'm hearing, since you're
Yeah,
at
it sounds like
120,
about right. Yeah.
Okay. So that means I'm not doing bless on just the two of us. I'll wait until there's a third target for that. So instead, I will get over there and I will. Zoroha rises up, realizes that there's not an opportune time for that, realizes that Roshani's still conscious, which means not time for healing yet.
Oh,
So, hey, I'm a grave cleric. We're going to maximize this healing.
oh
Heck
valid,
yeah.
valid.
yeah.
So Aroha,
Nice.
realizing that he's facing a flying threat, is going to run over and attempt to throw a
Right.
net on it so that thing can stay down.
Yes.
So let's
Okay.
see how this goes.
Throwing the net. Perfect.
Throw in the net. Ooh, I have a 19 to hit.
Ooh, that definitely hits.
Aha! Take no damage, but be restrained.
So out of its view, and this even had a higher probability probably to land because you threw the net out from its current, or actually no, that the blind.
No, because the net's only a 5-foot range, and I'm not going to try to throw it from 15 feet away because I am not good at throwing nets, but I don't have a whole lot of ranged options.
Okay, so you just still catch it off guard as you throw it like over the fire, and then it just comes and descends right on top of it, like trapping it in its little tethery prison. We'll call it.
Aha!
So it lets out one of those ferocious shrieks again. And is that all from Aroha?
I'm going to get up on it as well, so it has another
Okay.
target, but I will be on the opposite side of Roshani so that we're not both in breath weapon formation in the event
Ooh,
that
flanking.
comes back.
Okay, cool. So
That's
you're
right.
like you're
Oh,
total
plus 2
like
bonus.
Yes.
You're total like World of Warcraft raid dragon style, where you're on the side as opposed to the front. I don't know if anyone plays WoW.
So I'm
a nerd.
I am a mercenary veteran, so I know not to both be in front of something that breeds a bad thing.
Yes, exactly. So you're on the sides there. That's perfect. Okay, so next up is Archie.
Archie is going to how you said about 190 feet away. You said no.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Archie's going to double. He's going to use a dash action to move 60 feet towards the dragon, and doing so, he will draw a hand crossbow. And as his bonus action, he will indicate for the goat to attack, to charge and attack the dragon.
Cool.
So that would be.
And the goat's just going to act on your initiative, right?
Yeah, okay,
cool.
The details of the bag of tricks is that my bonus action indicates to it its movement and attack for that round.
Brilliant.
So it has the charge ability. So roll this d20 here. Ugh, do not like that. It is a 12.
12. Yeah, that unfortunately misses just a little bit wide.
Well,
I've just informed by our amazing host Jake that we have 3 rerolls. So
lovely.
I think is one of those owned by Matt? I'm not sure.
Come on.
So we have 2, I guess.
So the one I
spend one,
spot,
if that's all right.
I'm making another rule, Jake. Since I'm playing the next game, I might save that one for me because I'm greedy and I get to be Fenway Jones Barbarian next game. And right now, I'm sitting pretty good, pretty up in this barn. I got a little sidekick.
There was no alignment requirement for this game, so you may do whatever you please.
All right, if I can, I'm going to reuse one of those rerolls.
Go for it. One of the rerolls? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. If that's all right.
So now we have
the attack is a 15.
Yep. Now it's a 15.
Yes.
Okay, that unfortunately still misses. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. I tried.
You weren't close enough for me to just knock down the AC a little.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, yeah. And I appreciate you not doing that. I appreciate you actually holding us to the accountable of the math. I love that. So good job.
All right. So
missing is part of the fun, guys. Missing is part of the fun.
Yeah, the most expensive miss, probably. A little bit.
yes. But at least, all the good cause. All the good cause.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been more expensive. We could have thrown more rerolls after.
That's true. That's true.
Was there anything else that you wanted to do on your turn?
That's it for my action economy. So
okay,
I'm done.
Cool. Looks like up next is Roshi.
Oh, $8 to go.
I am going to. Is it still blinded-ish?
No, that is worn off.
Yes,
but it's restrained.
Yep.
What's the net?
It is
I'm
restrained.
sorry.
You have advantage to hit it, and it can't move.
And speed of 0.
Oh yeah. I would like to punch it. I would like to punch it a lot.
Cool.
Oh wait, I didn't realize we had advantage on those attacks.
You had advantage as well.
You can't see it.
Oh, and we got a natural 20
with the advantage.
Nice. So go ahead and reroll Archie for your attacks.
Okay, so does a 23 hit now?
That'll do. Yeah,
great.
that'll do.
Okay.
Cool.
So it needs to make a strength check, a strength saving throw.
Okay, we'll do yours first and then go to Roshi's.
That's fine.
Yep, sorry. Just so we.
Sorry, Roshi, it's my fault. I forgot we didn't. It was a.
I totally forgot as well. So
I should have reminded people since it's my effect, but oops.
Teamwork.
It takes 9 bludgeoning from the charge of the goat, and its strength saving throw is a DC 13.
Rolled a 14 on the strength save.
So then it is not knocked prone.
Okay, cool. And that was from the charge, the goat charge?
That's the charge ability of the giant goat. Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. Apologies for that. Thank you.
Cool. So we're back on track. Back to now we're at Roshi with the natural 20.
Woo! How do you do your natural 20s?
Yeah, I always at my table I give players the option. You can either roll your damage and double the number that's on the die, or you can roll double the amount of dice. So whichever one is up you want.
I will roll twice because.
Okay.
I do the same. Ben,
4
my
and a. Ooh, nice. Go me. 12, and 3, 15 points of bludgeoning
Dang.
damage.
Whoa.
And then I would like to use another key point because, you know, that feels like what we're here
Yeah,
for.
do it, Roshi.
I
Do
know.
it.
On your team right now.
An 18 and oh wait, it's advantage, right?
Yes.
It is
Still?
advantage.
Yes. Okay, the first one was an 18, and the second one is a 20. Hold on, let's see if it's the second one's a 25.
Yeah,
23.
those are good. Those are good
Those
rolls.
both hit? Yeah, both
Yeah.
are punching. Excellent.
Punch away.
5 and 7, so 12 more points of punchy damage. And can I, the technical term, it's in the notes. Yeah, I think. Oh, I would just don't want it to not take a reaction until the end of my next turn.
So no reactions.
Yeah, and then I would like to use my motion to move back towards Healer Boy,
Okay. So you move 30 feet back towards Healer Boy.
like 30 feet.
I'm
Yeah,
just on the
30
other
feet.
side of you.
Oh,
Oh,
Like I'm
that's
on the
right.
other side of the
Behind him.
creature from you.
oh, I'll just move around that way
Okay.
and then back a little bit.
And because I don't have reactions, you are free
Yeah,
to move however
don't.
far along you away from it. Oh, she's
You
okay.
don't.
All right. All right, cool. So Roshi just goes full
Full glass
Fruit-
cannon.
I was gonna say fruit ninja for some reason, but sure, full glass cannon. And just starts punching away after you were scorched by the dragon fire. You certainly get your revenge and some more with that amazing flurry of attacks. Next up is Io.
All right. I kind of like what I got going on up here.
He's like, I'm never getting closer.
Damn, for real. You know how I said I was going to be greedy? Well, no, I used one of the other ones that wasn't the one that I got because I'm going to be twice as greedy as I thought I was going to be. Sorry, y'all. Because that was in that
Hey.
one.
Oh no.
That's good reroll. That's a good reroll use.
Yeah. So I used one of the other ones that wasn't the one I just put the 50 on, but somebody totally should put a 50 on one and get that pillow before this ends. But that is a 16 to hit.
16 just barely misses.
Now, did you roll with advantage? Because it's still
Right, you have
restrained.
advantage.
Yeah, it is.
Still
Yeah.
restrained.
Yeah.
Before you spent
Even
that
from
reroll.
even
Double
from the
advantage
range,
because
yeah.
I used it. All right.
even from the
Okay.
range, you're good
That's
to
a
do that.
17, but I might as well go for a 20. But I didn't get it. 17 to hit.
That hits?
Yeah, there you go.
Hey!
Hey!
It took 3 dice.
All right. That is 8 damage.
8 damage. Brilliant. Nice. Okay.
Going to kind of back away from the window though this time.
The ground. Okay, cool. Now it is the dragon's turn, and it is going to do whatever it can to get out of the tethering prison. So just
Aha!
I did earlier.
Really
All right.
awesome.
So it needs to make a DC 10 strength check or 5 slashing damage to the net to freeze the creature.
Okay.
The strength tech takes its action.
Either of them take
Yeah,
its action
it take
because
the
it's going to
action,
have to attack the net if
Yeah.
it wants to do the slashing damage.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I guess AC 10 is for net, right?
Yeah, AC 10, you have to do 5 slashing. So, but I bet your claws can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
go
not
ahead.
the fire breath. Ha
Ah!
Get yourself out of that one.
It rolls and slashes, and with a 14, it hits the net.
Aww.
Let's see if it does less than 5 damage, though.
Does 6 and then some fire damage.
All right. Well, I tried. Therefore, no one can judge me.
Burned your net.
It
Burned your
was-
net.
It was worth it just so I could punch it. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Net gets singed. Apologies from the DM to your net. Sorry. So it breaks free from that. And so in melee range, it's just a Roha, right? Technically.
So.
And the goat.
Oh, and the goat.
Oh, and the goat.
And the
You're
goat.
right. Totally. Thanks for the reminder. So it is going to kick off from the ground and begin to just try to fly straight away.
Can
So
we get attacks of opportunity?
definitely. The goat and then Aroha as well will get.
Technically, I think by the rules, the goat doesn't get attacks of opportunity.
And my
Unless
rules, they
you
will.
can rule
Go
that
ahead.
I can use my attack of opportunity in place of the goats.
Either one. If you want to use the
that's
goat
what I mean,
or
the
you.
goat can get mine.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's totally fine with me. That's fine. It would only make sense for it to be able to attack. All right, so Aroha and the goat, go ahead and make opportunity attacks as it tries
10.
to fly away.
Goat misses and only hit a 10.
10 miss. Yeah, 10 unfortunately misses.
All right. As it launches itself up, Aroha bangs his warhammer on his shields. Says, "Come back here! No getting away from me!" Which, because I'm a warcaster, is my way of casting Toll of the Dead. So it needs to make me a DC 13 Wisdom save.
Ooh.
Love it.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
Natural 1.
Yay!
Nice.
I can't make that up. There we go.
7 points of necrotic damage for daring to move away from me.
The nerve.
All right. So with the Toll of the Dead, you just hear the little ding, the little bell rings.
Well, it's the bang bang on the shield, but effectively,
okay,
yes.
That works as well. All right. So as you try to do some last hits on it, it does indeed fly away. However, since you guys are all super well equipped with ranged, we're still going to go through the initiatives here. So as of now, it's about 60 feet away from the point of the pen.
Okay.
EO just ran AFK for a second, so we'll come back to him last.
Okay.
But on the turns, it's Aroha. So Aroha, if you have something ranged, you want to try to,
I mean,
it's 60 feet, so it's not too far at all.
Toss me another wisdom save, because that's all I got at range.
Right on.
Everything else is heals and buffs.
Oh, that one's a little better. +2, 17.
All right, then it is unfazed by my taunting.
All right, so the
and then I'll
nothing rings true.
Scamper 30 feet in its direction.
Okay. Cool. Next up is Archie for ranged.
So I'm going to move 30 feet towards it. And as I do that, draw the other hand crossbow and then fire both at it in the sky.
Amazing. All right, so you fire both of those. Go ahead and roll. Roll for both.
The first one is a 22, and the second one is a 22 because I rolled the same number. So both are 22 to hit.
Okay. Those definitely both hit.
Cool. And they are 1d6 plus 4 for the first one and just a 1d6 for the second.
Okay. Yep. No dex bonus.
I do have the crossbow expert.
Okay. Cool.
Feature. So that's going to be 16 damage total. The first one's 10 piercing. The second one's 6 piercing.
Okay, so you have 16 points piercing damage. You lock on, and it's like you're not even phased by it flying away. You're just like, okay, this is just another day in the life.
Take these hand crossbows, you red devil.
So you pew at it as it flies away, and you do stick it twice, and you see it sort of falter down as if it falls 10 feet towards the ground a little bit, and it just regains itself just enough as it begins to fly away still, not technically getting any more, just thematically. So Roshi is up next if you have any.
I will drop my quarterstaff and pick up my light crossbow, which I think gives me disadvantage at this distance. You said it was 120.
Yes.
Yep, so it'll be disadvantage. Yeah. I still have range, 320s in, but let's see.
You just said disadvantage.
I rolled a 7, so no.
This is a good time to throw this in. I don't know if you want.
Oh, that's right. I could use the reroll.
I just donated $100, so you guys can use the 2 rerolls in this game, or if they want to carry them over into the next game, however you guys want to do that.
He already told me no, they get eaten by gelatinous cubes in between games.
Right. Well, then I'm totally gonna try one more time.
Okay, so
I don't know how that works with
after this, you got one
disadvantage.
more. Yeah.
Okay. Oh God, I rolled worse. Son of a gun.
No.
Never mind. Yes,
Hello,
it hits the outhouse. Luckily, no one is in the
What's
outhouse.
left of the half?
What's left of the
mast.
outhouse
Roshi,
now
how
has an
dare you.
arrow.
How dare you hit the outhouse?
We'll rebuild it better, faster, stronger. It'll be fine.
Next, you're gonna tell me you hate pastries.
That would only benefit you.
Yes.
Cool. So, unfortunately, you do miss with that attack.
That's okay.
Next up is EO,
Get it?
and it's just like just in your range still. If like you peek your head out the window, it's like just beginning to fly past the barn door, or the barn door, but the barn altogether. So you can try to get it with a ranged spell if you still want to.
I do have not that one. Yep. So I'll take blast. I'll use reroll. I'll use reroll.
How many times did you miss?
I got 3 14s. Plus numbers though, so that's plus 5, 19.
That hits. You didn't have to use the rerolls, or did you? I'm confused.
No,
He just wanted better rolls.
I just wanted a nat 20.
I can
A little bit.
I can
I
relate.
wanted to kill it. It's running away. It's my last
Right.
chance.
Yeah.
What else am I gonna use these rerolls on? It's a dragon.
Yeah.
Come on.
Makes
How
sense.
often do you actually get a dragon in Dungeons and Dragons? Sure, it's a baby one, but whatever.
Still counts. Still counts.
That's 13 damage.
13. Okay.
Force damage. I really want to down it.
Sorry.
I got 1 point.
Broke the DM.
It's not quite 1, but it's
Close.
close.
Oh,
But it's
God.
too.
Mathematically, it's if you're going on the number line, it's not even a hop, skip, and a jump away. I'll say
Somebody
that.
give me a 4th reroll to give me that crit. I knew it.
So real quick, the giveaway for the pillow is going on right now. It looks like in the stream.
Woohoo!
Show off that pillow.
Reading straight
Which
off
one? There's
Streamlabs or
2.
Stream Elements.
Oh.
Ooh, that's what's up.
Ooh, there's
You wanna hold
two.
up?
Look at
There's
that.
silver and red, and there's purple and
Silver
gold.
red.
Looks
That's
like it
what's
is
up.
I like that
open
purple.
to
Blaxel style, I like that.
any
Yeah.
U.S. or Canadian residents, excluding Quebec, and it will end in 300 seconds, which I'm sure is less than that by the time I'm reading this. So if you're in the chat and you can hear me, type !join, and then Stream Elements should just pull you right into the giveaway. That's from my knowledge of streaming on Twitch. Read the chat from Jake of these
Official.
picks.
Guild rules.
I used to stream World of Warcraft a lot, so I don't know
Yeah.
a lot, but that's about all I know. So yeah, type !join to join the giveaway. Anyway, back into
Oh,
the
that's so exciting.
yeah, and you saw the pillows on screen a couple times. They are brilliant and amazing. So, now it is the dragon's turn, and it is going to, in the game, it's going to dash. So it's going to fly another roughly 120 feet away from you guys. So at this point, it's pretty far from the farm. But if you guys still have things that you can get within its range, you're more than welcome to go ahead, and this will, if you want to do one last leg of things, if you can, this
For
is
sure.
most likely the last opportunity to get those in.
All right.
So if you have something, then we don't have to go in any particular order at this point. So
How far is
I
it?
can get 2 more shots off. They're going to be a disadvantage.
Same.
okay,
Do it.
Wait, hold on.
yeah, that's
Hold
what
on.
I was thinking is probably have some disadvantage stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have my feet yet. No spells. Of course. One
so-
time I need spell sniper.
All right. So the first roll is 20.
First
I
roll,
rolled 12 and a 16. So 12 plus 8 is 20.
Okay.
And the second roll is a 10 plus 8, so 18. I rolled a 10 and 11.
So you rolled.
I rolled a 10 and 11, but they add plus 8 to my,
Right, okay.
my attacks.
So,
So
those
18
definitely
and
hit.
20.
Yep.
Pew,
Yep.
pew.
Nice.
All right. And wow, that's even with disadvantage. That was great.
The pew pew dream is real and alive.
Seriously.
It's a perfect day.
Yeah, and since I'm a crossbow expert, I ignore the loading aspect of crossbows. So Total damage is 8 piercing for the first and 5 piercing for the second. And Archie says, "You're not getting away from me. You destroyed the outhouse, and you're gonna pay."
And with the might of all the gods, distant, old, and new, that protect the outhouses of mankind, all of their spiritual energy surges behind you as you give off the last pew pew, and these arrows, or bolts rather, sling off of these crossbows and pierce it right in its back as it's starting to fly away, and just straight out of the sky, as if it's falling down 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, and smacks the ground as you have defeated the red dragon.
We've avenged the outhouse.
From the top of the barn, you just hear, "Yay!"
You hear "yay" from Theo, and then you just hear the squeaky voice from Cat again. Yeah!
You're a real adventurer now.
That's the sound of a
Let me
birth
show
of
you
an
how to
adventure.
make a pact.
We did it! Packed.
No! Oh no! We sent him with
Archie
the
goes
wrong
back to Roshi.
adventurer.
Are you okay?
I'm a little squished, but not the worst. It's like a bad sunburn.
I hate sunburns, so you're better than me.
You get used to them. It's a redhead thing. Like
You're
your
always
options are
taking the
sunburn or
damage, so
freckles.
I appreciate you, Roshi.
That's what I'm here for. Hey, have we ever had dragon steak? I bet it is super tasty.
Can you put it in a meat pie, like a pastry?
I bet you could.
Then that's what we're gonna eat.
Oh my
At
god,
least that's
we
what
could
I'm
just have
gonna
a
eat.
side.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
No meat pies?
If I'm having dragon, I'd like it fried. I don't do that.
Fried?
No dragon.
Like
Fried dragon
chicken?
meat pie? I'm into it, EO. I'm into that.
Oh
Thank
my
you, yeah.
gosh. It's like a
gator.
dumpling, but fried.
Or maybe
Oh.
like a dragon
Mm.
empanada.
Yes.
Oh yeah, dragon empanada. I got EO with that one.
Very
I've never
spicy.
eaten dragon.
So,
Can we actually
dragon
do that?
pastries.
Mm-hmm. We saved the
course.
cows. So
Yeah.
there's a whore. Do you buy some? Did you rent some cows? Are you gonna sell them back, or are you gonna keep them?
No, they said they wouldn't take they said they wouldn't take my money because we're helping them. So
All right.
I'm gonna go get the body and bring it back, and we can post
Wait.
pictures and stuff, and then start
Some
cutting.
selfies. Some quick sketches.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm sure somebody will be able to draw. Be right back.
I want a scale, I want a tooth, I want a claw.
Brilliant. So you can do all those things. So you go up to get the body, and even in the dark of night, one of the moons of this world is very close to this whatever planet, floating rock you are in the vast atmosphere of space. So you can still see relatively well with the moon so close, and the light it's giving off. And you see like the trail of blood that it would have left from the blood falling from either itself or its prey from the previous days. And you go to mess with the body because I feel like you mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick it up over my shoulder and bring it back, unless I find something else, and then I will make a very manly scream. And by that I mean it will be high pitched and squealing.
You don't specifically find anything else, but you do find to see the trail of blood still run north. So it looks older, like it was probably from the day before. So basically like it's gone back and forth the same way, probably from the same layer every night. But the blood from the south to the north, the route that you walked, is definitely fresher than the one that proceeds north from the body.
Cool. Well, I bring the body, or Roha brings the body back, and then says, "So exciting news! There's more of a trail than I thought there might be. So we could maybe go back to its lair if we think it's alone. Otherwise, we might go to its lair and find Mom, and then that could be real awkward and very deadly for us. So
I totally want to go see what's there. Maybe it has stuff like pastries.
Like a hoard?
Maybe it has pastries. Yeah, or a hoard. hoard of pastries?
A horde
Wait.
of pastries.
Do dragons keep hordes of pastries?
I don't know. Maybe. We'll find out.
I'm into it.
We just
Let's go.
EO seems
Dragons smell
concerned.
all over us. I do not know about this.
Well, then won't things not hurt us because we smell like dragons?
Right.
Dead dragons.
So if you do want to travel to what you presume to be the lair, is you kind of look up and you just you've kind of seen it in the background, but it hasn't really caught your eye quite yet because you haven't focused in on it. But not even too far away, you see what begins to be a sort of like a mountain range, or at least an area heavily covered by mountains, and you presume probably that's where the dragon was flying off to, coming back and forth. And if you do wish to go travel to the lair, the Carrington family will offer you up what's left of the horses, so you can go quickly if you would like.
I have a giant goat I can ride.
Oh, very well. That was a fun trick. I never learned that one back in my day, but
Hey, it comes from this bag I've got.
A second dragon, 2 dragons in one day, and bigger dragon. I guess
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll go see what it is, and if it's super scary, we'll come back and take a nap first.
It'll be
I
fine.
didn't
We'll be
use all
fine.
this reroll now.
Famous last words.
That was a mistake.
You just gotta buy more now. I mean,
Right.
you made that bed. Time to lay in it, brah.
It's only Monday though. Probably make it till Thursday. All right, let's do
and
this.
Archie, he does see you mention the little bag that you had,
Hmm.
and he looks up at you as you're mounting the giant goat, and he just tosses you up a bag, and he says, "Well, if you're going into a dragon's lair, this was a little old trick that I had back in my day. Between you and I, it will hold many, many a treasures." And he tosses you up. You
yes.
kind of recognize it.
Right.
They're not too uncommon, but he tosses you a bag of holding to throw some treasure in and
Great.
bring it back, so you don't have to make multiple trips.
This just makes me a little more concerned. The bigger the treasure hoard, the bigger the dragon.
So it'll be a small treasure hoard. It'll be a couple piles of coins. That's it. It'll be fine. Come on.
Of
We'll have
all
fun.
of us, I
And-
think
and
you're
just-
best prepared. You're the one who isn't hurt so much by fire.
You said go to a lair, and in a lair, there's not as much room. And I,
We will keep you super safe, EO. Don't you worry.
all right.
All right, so you begin to ride out to the lair, and the journey doesn't take you long at all. Probably takes maybe an hour to get to where you presume the lair to be. So as you're following this thin trail of blood, you start into what seems to be a mountain pass, and then you pretty quickly divert from it. And really the only light that's coming into this cave is the small light from the moon that's coming in. It gives you a small preview of what's inside. It seems to be a naturally formed, sort of like a system of caves where this is supposed to be like a hallway or a cavern that leads into bigger rooms that seem to be around the corner. And the trail of blood does continue into the cave as well. After you realize the trail, it's pretty easy to keep it from there.
Shall we leave the horses and be sneaky?
Probably a good idea. Smart thinking there, gnome friend.
Why you guys bring me along? I punch things and I have ideas.
Me as EO is very apprehensive and not so sure about this. Me as Matt, the player, 15 minutes. Yeah, let's go.
That's right. 15 minutes.
Yeah, Archie
What-
follows too after saying goodbye to his goat, Samuel
Wait, what?
L.
Bring the goat
Kleinson.
with us.
What, you want the goat to come inside the cave?
Sure.
It's big enough.
I was going to keep
it's a
him,
big cave.
I was going to let
I
him
say if the goat
be friends with the
fits,
horses, but
Goat
let's,
fits.
come on, Samuel Climbingson, come with us. Come on.
Oh, hold on. What did you just say? I
Samuel L. Climbingson.
Climbingson. Well, he is
Climbingson.
now Samuel L. Spider Climbingson.
The goat? Good God. He just well now we're making weird spider silk with goats.
With goat
All right,
milk,
so-
it's a thing.
Now the goat
Yeah.
can climb walls.
For an
That's
hour, he can move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and upside down ceilings while leaving its hoofs free.
Can one of
It
us
also
ride
gains a
Spider Goat?
climbing speed equal to its walking speed.
I feel like if
Yeah.
he was climbing vertically, it'd be hard to stay on.
No, with a goat, it's already doing that. So now it's
Right.
just like all over the place.
Right. On the ceiling. Man.
It's good times. All right, cool. Let's go
Thank you,
save.
Eo. He's going to be amazing at this.
So as the goat begins to enter into the room, it feels this magicalness come over it, and you guys are just walking into the cave like normal, and then it's just going up the side and around the top and sort of like
Eating some of the
spiraling.
soil at the top.
Yeah, there's algae that's coming off the walls, and you go through this hallway just for what seems to be a fleeting moment. And you turn the corner to see what was, or definitely not what is some sort of a camp. There's a couple tents set up, some stumps to sit on that are right in front of a fire pit. However, you see 3 lifeless bodies laying on the cave floor. And they seem to be sort of the same effect of the cattle that you saw in the beginning of your adventure, that they are slightly indistinguishable at this point.
Oh.
But one of them, while like sort of outstretched laying on the ground, you see really the only thing that catches your eye about this is there's a small little pendant of the sun. And it's sort of like how it's comically written in like children's books that you see, where it's a circle and then there's some, triangles coming out from the rim of it. And that's like what would look like to be a large pendant on a chain of a necklace, but there's no chain. So it's just this big little, looks like an affix or something.
Roha, do you recognize that?
Looks like a big Flavor Flav medallion to me, but yeah, looks like probably maybe Sun God. I don't know.
Oh, yes, the great dwarven captain Flavor Flav.
Indeed.
Yes.
So before I touch it, because bad things have happened to Aroha before, Aroha is going to use Eyes of the Grave to make sure these aren't like zombies or whites or something else. It's going to be like, yes, come for our treasure, and then we're going to turn you into undead as well.
Right on.
Or a
yeah,
dragon.
definitely.
Maybe it turns into a dragon.
Ooh, maybe it does, but I only detect undead with that, so we'll see if that's...
Oh, well
Well,
then.
if it's
An undead dragon,
then we're going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's 3 dragons that are playing dead, we are like, the good thing is the stream's almost over, so it won't take us long to die.
All right. So you don't detect any undead. They're
Great.
They're very much dead. And
Good.
the pendant seems to be sort of,
Good.
And I will pluck up said pendant and religiously look at it. I'm guessing it's of... Is it Palor in this edition? I'm getting my Greyhawks and my
Greyhawk
Forgotten
vibes
Realms.
from this. Yeah. Yeah. It looks to be what would be a pendant of Palor. It's a good pickup on that, actually. So it doesn't specifically look like it might have been like a pendant or medallion because of its size and weight. But nonetheless, it is pretty pretty. It is well crafted, and seems to be of some value. So, and as you kind of look up, the moonlight is still streaming in a little bit, and you do see that this cave system does work around to the left as well. So you walked out of a hallway basically into a big room, and then the hallway continues down to the north of the room and then cuts off to the west.
And the blood goes that way.
Yes, blood follows the trail follows.
Oh, well, we can come back and bury these guys later. Let's go see where the blood goes.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Come
Where
on,
the red
goat.
trail blood goes.
So as you follow the trail diverts off to the left, which does anyone? I'm assuming someone probably lights a torch or something. Just
At this point, I've cast light. On
Casted
something.
light.
Oh, yeah.
There's plenty of utility for.
Oh, humans.
Only human. Sorry, I didn't want to see in the dark. I wanted this feed at first level.
You're not the only human. I can't see in the dark either.
So the trail of blood diverts to the left, and just from where you are now, you kind of peer in to the room, and it opens into a room about the size of where you found the camp, and you see just countless carcasses, ranging from different animals to, you don't quite see any like humans or humanoids, but it's majority just animals. And then as you sort of like peek your head in, the scent wafts into your senses.
Ooh.
And it's
That
just,
does not smell like pastries.
it's not pastries. No, no, not even the nice dragon kind that you are going to make up. And off to the right, as you just quickly are like, oh, nope, that's not it. That's not, that's not our room. You turn right and you see this very grand mural that's painted on a large stone door. And this mural depicts multiple different dragons flying over a mountain range, similar to the mountain range that you just entered visually. And they're all of different color. You see gold, you see red, silver, blue. Seems like every color or make of dragon is represented in this mural. And you notice that really the only way you can see the mural is from your natural light. And as you look up, you see clouds. And however, there seems to be an outcut in the mural, sort of like in the measure of a sun. Seems like something was carved right out of it.
Roha,
What do you think is behind that mural?
do you think there's more dragons here?
I think I'm going to use Pendant on Hull.
Oh.
What level spell is that?
I mean, it's an old LucasArts trick, so...
So you easily, you put the pendant in, and at first you sort of put it in like it just kind of like stops halfway in, and then you turn it just slightly, and then it goes right into its place.
I did not even make that connection. Good on you, Aroha.
So you put the figure into the slot, and as you do so, like this little shimmer is spreads out from the origination point of where you put in the sun. And then, as if magically, it seems like light spreads inside of the mural into the portrait that you're looking at, and the stone door swings open. Inside the room, you do not find any more of these dragons that you feared going in.
Ooh.
But we do find pastries, right?
Rather, you do find a relatively mighty pile of gold. You do find there is a staff lying on top that seems to be of very elegant make, and conveniently placed right next to this pile of treasure, you find a pile of pastries, as if it were a gift from the gods themselves. At the side.
These are artifact pastries.
Get the pastries, get the gold, get it in the bag before the dragon
Wondrous
comes
item
back home.
pastries.
Oh my gosh.
A never-ending bag of pastry.
Yeah,
That's what I
indeed.
was hoping he would have given you.
And
I end my
you find-
adventuring days. We're done. That's all I wanted. I just wanted an ever-ending bag of pastries. I'm hanging up the adventuring life.
You could start a patisserie.
Yep.
Yeah, and then when something bad comes around, you can hire a set of adventurers and keep giving back to the community.
That's right.
This is
Just
great.
keep giving back, right? Just keep passing that dime.
Pay it forward with adventurers.
you take those pastries and just toss them in the bag of holding, completely ignoring the hundreds of gold pieces that were laid out.
Yes, I just want the pastry. Oh, right. I should probably get the gold too. I
Yeah.
apologize.
But
Eo
put the
probably
gold in
wants the
first because it's
staff, I
heavy.
imagine.
Yeah. So you grab the gold. There's of course some silver and copper pieces mixed in with these. Purple gems, red gems, ewers, crystals, rings. It seems to be sort of like a bit of a mighty treasure pile, even for a wormling. And of course, there's this brilliant staff that is, as you deduce over the next couple days, it is a magical staff.
Ooh.
And you bring back the treasures, I assume, to the village. You're more they forgot to make it clear in the beginning, but any treasures that you find during your adventure, you're more than welcome to keep. as well as they each pay you 50 gold pieces for your efforts.
Well,
Oh,
if you're trying to take
Huzzah!
these pastries, you're gonna have to
Yay.
pry them from my dead cold fingers.
On top of
Right.
that, they even bring you more pastries. And if this is a true request, they would find a way to make dragon pastries from the dragon that you defeated.
I
or
am
just
looking for
pastry
dragon
shaped like a little
empanadas.
dragon.
That
Oh,
works
God,
as
dragon
well.
empanadas sounds so good.
Mm,
Sort of like pasties, like dragon pasties. Sort of
yeah,
like the cousin of pastry.
lovely.
Oh, that's so appropriate because we got all these Michigan peeps up in here.
Right.
Well
All right.
played.
Well, it looks like that is our
You did
time.
it!
Well done. Well done.
You all successfully slayed the dragon. There were multiple
I
ways
like
that scenario could have gone out, and you guys chose one that worked out well for you. So congratulations to all of you for defeating the dragon menace. And
Thanks for everybody who donated.
Yeah, I'm so excited to send my pillows to people.
Yeah.
yes,
What's up?
yes, thank you for the pillows because those are an amazing part of the giveaway. And yeah, it looks like that is pretty much it from us. If anyone has anything to say, this is probably the time to say it.
I'm in the next game now.
If-
I hope y'all don't get tired of me.
More from that, yay.
If anyone wants to order a pillow themselves, they're called saving throw pillows because I'm a dork. And they're all over the internet. Come check them out.
Also, if
Cool.
you haven't heard of it, there's a new show called The Dungeon Run. I say new, it's been on for about a year. I play Uggo the Barbarian. You guys can check us out at caffeine.tv/The Dungeon Run.
What's the
Wednesday
puppet Mind
nights,
Flayer?
6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST.
You guys have the Mind Flayer puppet, right?
We do. We have the full animatronic Mind Flayer puppet. We are still going on strong during COVID, so you guys come and join us for our side quests. We're having a lot of fun.
That's what's up.
Awesome.
So fully interactive. Players can donate and interact with us and change the game as we play. So
That sounds familiar.
Cool.
Cool.
Yep.
Brilliant. All
I
right.
just want to say a big thank you to Jaspers and the Fenway for having us
Yep.
and letting us be on the stream.
This is so
Um,
fun.
And if you're looking for a tier 3 game to play, an adventure that my wife and I just wrote, 917 in the Hand, just came out on DM's Guilds.
great.
Nice.
Sweet.
Ben, thank you so much
Yay.
for
DM for
DMing. It
next
was
week.
wonderful.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
guys
it
for
was
coming.
super
This
fun.
is super fun. Yeah, this is a very fun game. Thank you to this. Like I said, this is a very amazing cast of players that I had the honor to play with. So, and thank you everyone in the stream for donating and watching. Share the link. Get the word out. This is it. We still have plenty of gaming left, so make sure to stick around. And looks like that is it from us. So thank you for watching us
See
in
ya.
the mayhem that it was.
Like 5 minutes.
Be safe, be good to each other, and